Wu-Tang, an American Saga, Season 2, Episode 8, Saturday night. This was a great episode. Like all the episodes have been really great. This is it's talking about this club that was infamous for all the hip hop, the Disco Fever, in the South Bronx, 167 Jerome Ave, and all the greats, Run DMC, LL Cool J, and the Fat Boys and Curtis Blow, and the list goes on and on and on. If you go back through history, it's a movie was made back in the '80s, late '80s, called Crush Groove. It's talking about the disco fever. So the Wu Tang are trying to get a deal, a record deal. They're going different places to get a record deal, and one lady is played by Lala, and she said that if the music makes her pee wet, it's a hit. But you got to have more than just one hit. And so they were telling them Power, and they were telling her that they're going to be performing at the Fever, the historic Fever, which wasn't really true. So Mook, who had a lot of connections in the South Bronx, and later, he became a actor. He was a journalist actor, and he was like the manager for the group. But they were trying to get a show at the Fever, even though they told everybody that it was a show, but they didn't tell the truth. So they had to actually get the ball rolling in order to produce this show. And they told the record executives that they want them to show up so they can see them live, because they wanted to see a live performance. So they had to get a rehearsal area to rehearsal for the show. And then you also see Ghostface and Ray. Uh, Ghost was trying to get something in this particular Muslim like restaurant, and these kids said Stapleton, and didn't know what was going to happen, but it was like, oh man, we like your song, we heard your song, man, and they was giving them a shout out and whatnot. So then Ray came and said, he said, man, I thought something was gonna go down. He said, and Ghost said, no, they're just trying to show some love, to Wu Tang and stuff. So you got that going on, and so they're trying to Power's trying to get the talk to, I imagine it's the guy named Sal. That's the guy that was that runs the club Disco Fever, and I was trying to talk to him to get the group on to do the show, and he kind of wasn't feeling him, and so that's when he got with Mook. Mook was the guy that helped him try to sell some of the records in record stores and stuff, independent record stores and whatnot, and so he gets Mook to go there because Mook has a lot of pull in that area. It's just neighborhood. He knows the neighborhood and everything. So he gets Mook to go there and try to talk to him, and saying that this group is big. It's gonna be they're gonna make lots of money, and imparting on him that you might want to put this group on and get them opportunity. So yeah, they get the show set up. Uh, Wu Tang is trying to get a sound check for rehearsal, getting ready, and you got ODB. He's like real, real up, and he's trying to get the mic and trying to perform, and he's trying to tell him, "Cuz, chill, 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 chill." So the rest of the members come in there and they get ready to try to do rehearsal. And then, ironically, I think there was these little girls were doing a dance studio, and it's like, no, I tried to call you, but they had a certain amount of time to do it, and I guess they were pushed out of that particular area thing to do that particular rehearsal. So they had to do something else, and then we see Cherie and Divine's girl, and she's a real mad talented. She knows how to sew clothes. We say her mother taught her how to sew clothes and stuff. And I guess they get ready to go to the show to see the show, and so the show is getting ready, and before they got for the show, they got these uh, hoodies with the Wu-Tang emblem on, with the big W, the iconic symbol. Everybody's happy, and they got those on, and they getting ready, and they got to get a van to go for the show, and everybody's kind of a little nervous here and there because RZA got it set up to do the Protect Your Neck song, the Method Man song, and a new song they record called Can It Be All So Simple with Ray and Ghost. And they were a little bit nervous about this. We just did this song. They were a little bit nervous and hesitant, but it's like, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. So they get to the club, so, a lot of Staten Island people there, the boroughs, there's always been a little tension between the 5 different boroughs. So the people out there waiting, and Staten Island people's out there, and other people that's in the neighborhood from the South Bronx, they were kind of leery, So people heard about him. Some people were like, oh, I don't know, what's this Wu-Tang thing? Who are these people? What's this about? So but everybody's getting prepared, and they got the little swords and stuff, as part of the props for the show. And Cherie and not Power, Divine's Cherie and Divine, his lady, they were dressed up real cute, and they ready to get ready to go to the show. And everybody's coming through the club, and and also too, you got ODB. ODB had a biscuit, or had a burner on his hoodie. I guess he was just be prepared for anything. So they all get, they were having a hard time getting to the club. The bouncer didn't want them to come in there because they from Staten Island, and it was like a lot of tension there. And then they had Mook had to talk to the manager to get him in, and then one of them said, I think Divine said, ODB got that burner, got that biscuit, man. You got to get that off of him. And so they would slide it off of him and stuff. And then the bouncer saw the swords and stuff, and like, what's all these swords? You can't bring that up in here. And he's getting real, heated, like, it was getting real ugly. They got in there behind in the dressing room, and they were waiting for the A&R representative to come, which was played by Lala. And she hadn't got there yet, and everybody's kind of tense, and they're trying to do the study the, get their rhymes crisp, and going over the rhymes and stuff like that. There was a little tension there. And then also too, in the club, we see Divine's lady. She came up in the VIP, and the guard, the bodyguard, and he told me, yeah, and she gave him she made a Wu-Tang flag, and she said that every army has to have a flag represent the soldiers, and I'm holding you down just like everything else. And she was telling that she supported him, and he kissed her and stuff. And so so they got those other group that came. That's the ones from the first season. Those little Jamaican dudes from the first season, and stole the show in the first season, and stole the spotlight from them. They all came as individuals in that first season, and they was trying to get ready to do a show or something. They supposed to close out the show or whatever. But the Wu-Tang was getting geared up and ready. It was still waiting for the A&R representatives, and they finally came. But right before ODB just jumped on the stage, and he started going on a tirade. And he was on some pro-black militant stuff. And The execs came in and they was like, uh-oh. And Divine saw him, is like, man, cut that out, cut it out. And he was trying to tell him, chill, chill, man. You're messing it up for us, man. You get too political and too militant. And then told him, and then he came back and said, no, we all here, all different races of people, we all coming together as one, and, for Wu-Tang Clan and whatnot. And then they started doing the song Protect Your Neck, and everybody's getting pumped up. And then they went from there to the Method Man song. Everybody's getting pumped up. And then they went and did the new song they recorded, Can It Be All So Simple? And you can see that the executive, Lala, was getting really uh, excited, and she told Divine that her pee is wet, very wet. And he said, I'm glad to hear about that." And then they had all these women was chasing them. They became like superstar, rock stars, and then it was really cool. And so they killed it at the Disco Fever. It's infamous. It was an infamous club. If you go back to the movie Crush Groove, you'll find out, the history. They had in the movie had Sheila, Run DMC, and Curtis Blow, and the Fat Boys, and the Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. All that was historical. And Karis when all the people went through that with the Disco Fever Club. So it was a very powerful episode. I enjoyed it, and I remember some of the historical backgrounds from it. So yeah, it was really good. And I also want to give a special shout out to my mom, who just recently died last week. I just buried her yesterday, and I'm gonna dedicate this recap to my mama. May she rest in power. She was a good woman. She was so sick, suffering from pain, Alzheimer's and dementia, and I was there for the very end of when she went past. So may she rest in powers, and Wu-Tang Clan. Shoo! Peace to everybody and have a nice day. Thank you.